What's up, my peeps? This is part 2 of the prediction game video for Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, a match you're going to see this Sunday at SummerSlam. And just like I said on part 1, this is one of the hardest matches to predict. Both these guys have a good chance at winning this match. And in part 1, I picked Brock Lesnar to win this match. And in this video, I'll go into more detail as to why I think Brock's going to win this match. Although Triple H does have a good chance too, I still think Brock has the advantage here. Tell you why. Before that, I went back and forth for this match. I was, trying to think who's gonna win this match. I went back and forth between both these guys. At some point, I thought for sure Triple H was gonna win this match. But then I was like, no, Brock Lesnar's gonna win this, then Triple H again, and then Brock Lesnar again. Finally, going to the conclusion that I think Brock Lesnar's gonna win this. So, what I'm gonna do basically is I'm gonna tell you why Triple H could possibly win this and why Brock Lesnar could possibly win this. Not only that, but tell you why I think they should or should not win this match. So let's start off with Triple H, who oftentimes does win his big pay-per-view matches, unless it's like, WrestleMania against Undertaker, but, he's a main event guy, often gets victories when he's in matches against top guys. Now, in this case, though, he's against Brock Lesnar. This is kind of like, John Cena versus The Rock, where they're both huge stars, and one of them, is a huge returning star. So both guys really have a good chance at winning this, and this is Triple H we're talking about here. Triple H lost his first big pay-per-view match in 2012 against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. This is his second match in 2012 since then, and would Triple H really lose his second match, in 2012? Would he lose both his matches, his only matches so far in the year? One would typically say no, because it's Triple H, he's a top main event guy, and if he only has these two, let's say he only has these two matches in the year of 2012, then, he should at least win one of them. But this is a different case here. He's facing a guy like Brock Lesnar. But if you look at the whole feud, the whole storyline, while Triple H, has gotten the advantage a little bit against Brock Lesnar. He did take him out of the ring a couple weeks back, clotheslined him out of the ring. For the most part, Brock Lesnar has had, the advantage over Triple H. Yes, Brock has been kind of ducking Triple H when they want to fight, or when Triple H wants to fight. Brock Lesnar just gets out of the ring or dodges him. But Brock Lesnar has had the advantage for the most part. He broke his arm, that's the biggest thing. Broke his arm, and then broke his friend's arm, kicked his ass in the parking lot, and all that stuff. So he has the momentum going into the pay-per-view. He just broke HBK's arm, Triple H's best friend, on Raw, right before SummerSlam. And assuming this is their first and last match for the feud, between Triple H and Brock Lesnar to end it, then I would think Triple H would win this so he could get the revenge. Because typically when it's a case like this where the heel injures the face, attacks him, attacks his friends, makes his life a living hell, and stuff like that, then the face usually gets his revenge at their last encounter, at the pay-per-view, the big match between the two. Like when you had The Undertaker versus Edge, when they had their whole feud, and they had a couple matches, which Edge won, Taker won, and then they had this one match, I think it was a TLC match, where if The Undertaker lost, then he'd be fired. And sure enough, Undertaker lost, so he lost. But then he came back shortly after, as Vicky Guerrero brought him back. And him and Edge had one last encounter at SummerSlam. It was a Hell in a Cell match, which The Undertaker, the good guy in this case, finally won the match, finally won the feud. And then, another example, you had Randy Orton versus Triple H at WrestleMania 25. That whole feud, Randy dominated the feud. He kicked Shane McMahon in the head, he kicked Vince McMahon in the head, RKO'd Stephanie McMahon, basically beat everybody up in Triple H's family, and finally in their big match at WrestleMania 25, Triple H beat Randy to retain his championship. So, as you can see, like I said, usually when it's a situation like this, the face ends up winning in their big match. Now, should Triple H win this? In my opinion, yes and no. I'd say yes, just because, you know, he got his arm broken by Brock Lesnar. You know, all the stuff I just stated, you know, so Brock has had the advantage this whole time. So it makes sense to have the face Triple H, you know, win this match, get his revenge against Brock Lesnar, and send the fans home happy, or at least the Triple H fans home happy at SummerSlam. And also, like I said, he lost his first match of 2012 to Taker, so a win here would do him good. But at the same time, Brock Lesnar lost his first match back. If he would lose this match too, then that would put him at 2 losses and absolutely no wins, and that's... How could you have Brock Lesnar as this, you know, badass that beats everybody up and, you know, make him out to be a threat, which he is, but have him lose, you know, all of his matches? It doesn't make too much sense there, which is, you know, a big reason why I think Triple H will not win this match and Brock Lesnar will. But, you know, there's this other reason too why I think Brock Lesnar should and will probably win this match, which I'll go over, you know, in just a few moments. So that's pretty much it, I think, for Triple H. Now, when it comes to Brock Lesnar, let's go back to what I just said. He comes back, they bill him as this huge badass, a big threat to everybody in the locker room. Everybody's afraid of Brock Lesnar. I mean, check out HBK. He was afraid of Brock Lesnar backstage. He was paranoid that Brock Lesnar was going to attack him, which he did at the end of the show. And, you know, Shawn Michaels saw Brock Lesnar as a threat, and John Cena too. But, you know, John Cena beat him in his first match back. I mean, yes, Brock Lesnar did dominate most of that matchup. But what everybody pretty much remembers is that John Cena beat Brock Lesnar in his first match back at Extreme Rules. Now, this match, they could also have Brock Lesnar, I guess, dominate Triple H, and then Triple H beats him, but that puts Brock Lesnar at 2 losses, no wins. So who would believe that Brock Lesnar could get, you know, a victory if he loses his second, you know, match back and he hasn't won any matches yet? So that's one reason. And another reason why, you know, I think Brock would win this is the plan, the whole thing, the whole rumors about Brock Lesnar facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. If Brock Lesnar really is supposed to face The Undertaker at, you know, WrestleMania next year, then it would make sense to have Brock Lesnar defeat Triple H here. Because Triple H is the same guy that gave The Undertaker his biggest challenge at WrestleMania 27 and 28. He was the guy that almost defeated Taker for his undefeated streak. So Brock Lesnar could claim that, hey, I beat Triple H, the same guy that gave you such a hard time for your streak, that almost beat you at WrestleMania, so I can beat you at WrestleMania and end the streak. And on top of that, he can also say that he also broke HBK's arm. So he took out 2 of the members of DX, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, both guys that gave Taker a, you know, huge challenge at WrestleMania when the streak was on the line. And, you know, down the line, he could also face maybe Kane at Survivor Series or something like that, and beat him in a match, so then he could claim that he just beat everybody. Well, not everybody, since Taker has faced so many guys at WrestleMania, but he's beaten, you know, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Kane, all the guys that gave Taker, you know, a big challenge at WrestleMania. That's assuming, you know, he even faces Kane. But even if he doesn't face Kane, you know, him beating Triple H and breaking HBK's arm, which he's already done, would be a good way to build towards a Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker match for the reason, you know, I just listed. But if he loses against Triple H, the same guy that did lose to Undertaker, well, like I said, he did give Taker a challenge, he lost to Undertaker. If Brock loses to Triple H, then what would make the fans think that Brock has a chance at beating Taker if he can't beat Triple H, the same guy that, you know, lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania? So it definitely makes more sense to have Brock win here if the plan is for him to face Taker at WrestleMania. Now, if there are no plans of Brock Lesnar facing Taker, which I doubt, then I don't know. I seriously don't know, but it just makes sense in general that Brock wins this. You know, he lost his first match, and that alone is a big reason as to why he should win his second match. I don't think, you know, they signed Brock Lesnar to have him lose all of his matches, because then what would be the point to tune into a Brock Lesnar match on pay-per-view if you know he's gonna lose? So I definitely think him winning the match here would be the right decision. but I can still see Triple H closing out the show as the winner, you know, and beating Brock Lesnar, whether HBK shows up or not. Actually, you know, right now they're saying that Brock Lesnar broke, you know, kayfabe-wise broke HBK's arm, and he won't be showing up at SummerSlam because of that. But I could actually see Shawn Michaels coming out and super kicking Brock Lesnar. Some people have actually been saying, hey, maybe HBK is going to turn on Triple H and super kick him, and then they could have a match at WrestleMania. Because on Raw, HBK, you know, seemed pissed at Triple H or something like that, and after Brock Lesnar broke his arm, HBK was telling Triple H to get off him or leave him alone. I guess because Triple H got him involved in this, and HBK, you know, is, I guess, afraid of Brock Lesnar. I don't know. But honestly, I don't think this whole, you know, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels thing at next year's WrestleMania will happen. I think Shawn Michaels, when he said, you know, he's retiring, that he's retiring for good. So, yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm sticking with Brock Lesnar as my choice here. And on this subject, I'd like to ask you guys this question. Do you think Shawn Michaels is going to show up at SummerSlam and be involved in some way in this match? Like super kick, you know, either Brock Lesnar or Triple H, or maybe Paul Heyman, I don't know. Just tell me in the comment section if you think HBK is going to show up and get involved somehow. With that said, I'm out. See ya.